Welcome back to the ABL review. Here we have week, what is this, 6? We on 6? No, week 7, jeez. Week 7 of the ABL South division for season 20. You saw it here on the schedule page. Josh again forfeited. It sucks to see somebody forfeiting, especially somebody new, but I get it. I was under the impression that he had played Pokemon before the season started. I've been told that he hasn't. Some can confirm if that's correct. Look, I think we've talked about it already a lot on this podcast. It's a lot to jump into, and it's tough when people have been playing for so long. But I hope he sticks with it. Look forward to having him in future seasons potentially. But this has not been his season. On the flip side, Tyler gets another win. Tyler moves to 4-2, like a lot of people. We'll talk about that later. But this secures Tyler at least a 50% win percentage on the season, which is the highest he's ever gotten. So good for him. Let's jump into the rest of the battles. Oh, hold on. First turn. Oh geez, pause. Okay, so let's start off here. We've got Connor taking on Papcoon. I know you already saw the results. No spoilers here. No spoilers here because it's already been spoiled. It's too late for spoilers. You've been spoiled. Papcoon's really leaned into the Sun team on this setup here, and I think you can see that. Ogerpon Wellspring, I think, has a little bit of trouble getting going under Sun, but it's a good anti-Sun measure for the things that people are going to bring to counter Sun. I think Ogerpon's good for it. I don't think Connor planned much for dealing with the Sun. Looking at his team, I don't feel like I see a lot of anti-Sun measures here. But let's hop into it, see what we got. Let's get the Ampharos versus Ninetales. Not a bad lead for him. I'm guessing this is Assault Vest based on how little that took. Just going to fire off a discharge, try to snag a para. Doesn't manage to do so. And in comes the Donphan to be able to block that. I'm surprised Connor stayed in here. I don't think it's the best move for him because you see this happen. Even if that Focus Blast hits, that does 40% tops. And then just the perfect defensive gouging fire set to start setting up here. Even though the snow goes up from the Alola Ninetales there, able to get a clean KO. I don't think that crit mattered, but we'll talk more later. Lives that Dark Pulse surprisingly well. And able to live 2 Dark Pulses from Darkrai and get off 2 Heat Crashes. This thing's just critting all over the place. This is wild. Able to Morning Sun up. The sun isn't around, so he doesn't get as much recovery there, but he is able to get a 50% Morning Sun here afterwards. I think he could have set up to the moon on this Sceptile. He does try to set up again here. We do see the Swords Dance come up. I guess that's why he was reluctant to continue to set up in case that would offset his defenses and stuff. 54%. Oh, by the way, this crit for sure mattered. I refuse to believe even a +2 Heat Crash from Gouging Fire Oko's a water type Sceptile. I don't see it happening. But able to get off this big Heat Crash here, but then goes down to the Draco Meteor. Not super surprising. Ninetales going to come back in, set up the Sun. Flamethrower just to chip down this Infernape a little bit. Definitely going to go down here. But at this point, he doesn't really need the Sun too much. This Screamtail is going to be able to come in. Unfortunately, misses the player off. It probably wouldn't have KO'd. But it is going to KO this Latias. Surprised he switched in on it there, but I think the battle's lost. I don't see a way back for him at this point. Flare Blitz is going to pick up the KO on the Screamtail, but now this Infernape's simply too low. Ivy Cudgel, even in the sun, is going to take it out from Ogerpon. Quick battle. Papcoon was in control the whole time. Didn't even have to see his Venusaur come out. It was just a really solid performance from Papcoon here, and I'll be honest, not great prep from Connor. This is a hard team to play against, I think, but Connor's got so many tools on his team. I'm surprised we didn't see any stronger work come from him. It's unfortunate. But moving on, we've got Dakota taking on Zhang. Hang on, sorry. Okay. We got Dakota taking on Zhang. Zhang's been on a little bit of a run lately, but so has Dakota. Dakota, we see this Dugong coming in. Excited to see what Dugong can produce. It was big time low tier pick. We'll see what he can do with it against like Zheng's got like 3 leads in this battle. It's weird to see. So Cleavor comes out versus Ogerpon. Now Dakota has been, if you've been watching his battles, he runs Scarf Cleavor a lot. So I think Zheng was probably leery of this starting out. That's why he goes into this Torkoal here. But he's gonna eat this big Stone Axe. Rocks are gonna go up. Not a lot for Torkoal to do here because if he stays and he dies, which you see he does, and he can't really leave and come back in, just because he's going to be at such low HP. It's going to be hard, and plus he doesn't have good switch-ins to the Stone Axe. So Cleavor is going to take out the Torkoal there. Walking Wake's going to come in. So what can we learn from this turn here? We can infer a couple of things. This is potentially Scarfed. I think Dakota probably read this is potentially Scarfed, and I can't take it out with a Stone Axe, even if I am Scarfed and it's not. So it's not worth it. I have a switch in with the Decidueye here, and it takes that Hydro Steam relatively well. Araquanid's going to come in on this Brave Bird. Doesn't quite take it out, but takes it down to the point where it's not going to be able to come back in. Triple Arrows, even though it's resisted, is going to finish it off. Good play there. Now, it's turn 5, and Dakota's already up 6-4, and he's taking out 2 of the big supporters. Like, no hazards are going up in this game unless Smeargle can get them up here. And the Ogerpon's going to come in, try to threaten this Decidueye out, and it is going to take it out with the Ivy Cudgel. Now, I will say this looks dire for Zheng, but Iron Boulder against this team is so fantastic. If it's able to get a Swords Dance up and its booster energy, then even from lead, okay, even if it started out like if Zheng was able to send in a +2 Iron Boulder at lead against Dakota's team, he wins straight out the gate. Dakota cannot let this Iron Boulder get to +2. I don't think he can, because the rock move, Mighty Cleave, is gonna clean KO's Cleavor, also KO's Lottie, also KO's Dugong, KO's Zapdos, and then Psycho Cut KO's Weezing and Decidueye. I think Decidueye is the only Terra-able Pokemon, with the exception of Dugong, left on this team, but I don't think Dugong was a Terra captain, so I guess it doesn't matter. Dakota can't afford to let Iron Boulder Swords Dance, or else the game's over. Zheng doesn't have Predict, he can just attack what's in front of him, there's no priority here, so just gotta watch out for that. Ivy Cudgel is gonna Ogerpon is gonna KO the Decidueye with the Ivy Cudgel, but now this Cleavor reveals that it is in fact Scarfed. Walking Wake's gonna come in, threaten it out, but Dugong's gonna come in, take 0 damage from this Hydro Steam. Now Smeargle's gonna come out on the flip turn. Dakota's keeping up momentum, keeping good positioning, and the Smeargle's gonna come out and eat an X Scissor. That's an easy. Oh, I'm surprised. Okay, so Iron Boulder comes out. I remember watching this live and having some thoughts. Now, he's locked into X Scissor. Definitely gonna KO Iron Boulder if he goes for an attack, which is what he should do. You see the Quark Drive's gonna go off the booster energy, is gonna give him the boost. So now this Iron Boulder is faster. If he Swords Dances, he dies to the follow-up X Scissor, right? If he Rock Wreckers, then he can go into something else and get, he goes into Weezing. We talk about it later. I still maintain that Dakota can't let this set up. Now, talking to Dakota after the battle, this will explain his series of moves. What I would do in Zheng's situation is go for the choke. Hope that Dakota chokes away this win that he has in his hand, and just go for Swords Dance, because it's your only way of winning. It's 100% your only way of winning from this spot. So I would have Swords Danced here. He doesn't Swords Dance, he goes straight for Mighty Cleave, which also isn't a terrible play, because this Weezing cannot KO Iron Boulder. Worst case scenario, and I legitimately mean worst case scenario, is a Will-O-Wisp comes out and burns Iron Boulder here, which means if you Swords Dance on turn 12 coming up here. Well, I guess we'll resolve turn 11. Okay, if you Swords Dance on turn 12, you're burned, and you've lost 6% health here at 82. Then, I still don't think anything from a standard Weezing can KO Iron Boulder. Maybe it gets Hex or something. It'd be crazy prep. So you can Swords Dance again, and you have enough turns left to win, I think. I don't know off the top of my head how much Strange Steam does, or Sludge Bomb for that matter, but I think that would probably be the play. At least what I would do. So he goes for the Psycho Cut here. I think I've discussed my views on how Zheng should have played this, and I do. I'm talking a lot about how Zheng didn't play well here in the end game, but I want to give credit to Dakota because this is some fantastic prep he pulls out here. He pulls out Gyro Ball. So this is obviously boosted speed Iron Boulder because of the Quark Drive. This is minimum speed Galarian Weezing. So what is that? That's up defense nature, so that is relaxed nature with 0 speed IVs to maximize the Gyro Ball damage. That's great. Not quite enough to KO, but it is enough that this Iron Boulder definitely can't set up. At this point, the game is over unless Dakota makes some really bizarre plays. So he's gonna, like this. He goes hard into Cleavor. If Zheng had again played to the choke and Swords Danced on that turn, then the game's over still. I don't know why he decided to preserve Galarian Weezing. I don't get that play because he's in the same position no matter what. This switch to Cleavor was unnecessary. He's going to get taken out by Mighty Cleave. Zapdos is going to come in. Mighty Cleave's not going to quite KO, and he is going to go down to the Rocky Helmet. I guess that's fine, I guess, but then why not just go hard into Zapdos on that Mighty Cleave? Because then you still have your Scarfer in the back, because not like this does anything against Walking Wake. I think you'd want the Scarfer remaining, but whatever. This Walking Wake's locked into Hydro Steam. Easily going to be able to pick up the Walking Wake with Dragon Pulse from the Lottie. So well done, Dakota there. Gets a big win, really needed it. We're going to talk about the standings in the South because it's crazy down here. So let's talk about now our marquee match of the week.
Marquee match of the week. Now we have a theme.
Yeah, so we've got our marquee match of the week. We've got Kyle taking on Darren. This is a match I was super looking forward to earlier in the season just because at the time they were both undefeated. Now, like we talked about, standings are a bit of a mess in the South. Let's hop into this. We got Cinderace versus Talonflame. Smackdown right out the gate puts Kyle on the back foot, honestly. This is such a big move. I don't think I was aware that this got Smackdown. I'd never seen it. So really cool to see that come out. U-turn there. Sorry about that. Really good plan for... I think that was a really good plan for Zheng to lead off that way. We're going to see an SD, like a free SD because of that U-turn. And then, sorry, I got distracted. But then U-turn out big damage. You don't usually see SD U-turn from things that aren't Scizor, but I think on Landorus it really works here because of the Cresselia. Good prep. Galarian Slowking's going to come up, be able to chew this Ice Beam splendidly. Thunder Wave onto the Slowking. I mean, you're just trying to buy yourself free turns. Slowing it down doesn't do too much, right? Trying to get a little bit of recovery back with the leftovers here, so he goes out into the Grafai. It doesn't do too much damage, but he's just going to go for the knockoff, clean up the Talonflame. Ooh, burn, Rocky Helmet. Bad combination of stuff going for him there. Unfortunate. So this Landorus is going to come in, face down this Grafai after that. Get the Intimidate off. Good. Force it out. Okay. So, oh, fuck me. Okay. Whoops. Went to pause. Okay. So that was SD'd up as a Piloswine came in. Obviously, it's going to force it out. What did he say here? Oh, he didn't nickname his mod. Scat. Fair. Aishar is going to come out in the Duraludon, proc that defense boost. This Duraludon is going to be able to hang out here. 2 Iron defenses up. This Cresselia, is it going to be faster? Could be faster. Could be a speed tie. Who knows? Definitely going to want to try to Thunder Wave this thing, right? Flash Cannon not going to take it out. There goes the Thunder Wave. This Crest is going to be able to heal all the way back up. Wait, does it not have Moonlight? I'm realizing now I didn't watch this battle live. Or at all. This is my first time seeing it. Just gonna keep, unfortunately, boosting that Archaludon's defenses. Protect from the Brute Bond, it's surprising. Okay, I was gonna say this has gotta be Hisui and Yeah, he fell for it there. It's definitely got to be Hisuian Zoroark. He's getting taken down here. Look, Darren has been using Hisuian Zoroark so expertly. I'm really impressed with it. I think he's been doing such a good job. I can't give him enough credit. Rotom's gonna come in, obviously force it out with an Air Slash incoming. Oh no, thought we were gonna see Will-O-Wisp there. Primarine is gonna come out, probably flip turn. Definitely a water move, free water move. Oh, substitute, very good. Hopefully it doesn't have Encore on Grafai Eye. Gunk Shot's gonna be able to break it. Doesn't mess around, goes for Psychic Noise, gets it out of there. So, I gotta double check. I think Psychic Noise becomes a water type because of Liquid Voice. A water type move rather. But, because before, I remember it being noise or sound type moves turned water, but the only sound type moves that Primarina got in the past were like Hyper Voice, and maybe it got like Roar. It got something else, but I think it was normal type. So now it has a it can actually change the type of move to make it stat, which is really cool. So look at that, you're going to bring in Landorus on this, intimidate it, not take too much damage from this Gunk Shot, avoids the poison, very good. Another Swords Dance, yep. Swords Dance, you turn out here. There it goes. That's the actual, one, because I think because the Hisuian Zoroark, I think, took damage. Finally gets the Will-O-Wisp on Landorus, that's going to be a big help, but I think he's still going to end up Swords Dancing up. Oh no, I fell for it this time. Oh no, I should have suspected that. So it does get the Swords Dance up. Not able to take out the Hisuian Zoroark even after the SD. But he's going to save it in the back. Primarina gets the Spit F drop. That's bad news for him. He's going to really be able to pressure this thing. Draining Kiss doesn't get a lot back. Darren's really fighting and clawing his way up here. Finally going to take out the Landers that's been causing him so many troubles, but I don't think he's really got a way back after this. Goes for the, switches to a water type. Gunk Shot, you'd have to get a crit here to take this out. Doesn't happen. And we're just going to be down to the Piloswine, not going to really be able to hurt this Rotom. That flinch doesn't really matter, because he was never taking out the Rotom, unless he, like, hits a Stone Edge. Even then, I don't know, may have to crit. Look, Kyle played pretty well here after, like, a super strong start, shaky past couple of weeks, gets a big win here over Darren. Now let's hop over to the standings, because it's wild. What's going on in the South here? Sorry, ignore that. So here we go. We have 5 teams at 4-2. Kyle's a game behind because he plays a doubleheader in the last week. One of which is against Josh, which who knows, Josh might forfeit, or Josh hasn't been playing well, so we're just gonna soft call that a 4-2. Sorry guys. Every team's at 4-2. That means every team has a shot at making it into the number 1 seed. Even Papcoon, who's sitting at 3-3, he's got a shot at a first round bye. Like, he's only a game back of everybody. There's definitely a chance for him to, like, I believe at this point, Connor is probably locked out of playoffs. He's got losses to everybody except for Kyle, whom he hasn't played yet, so he's playing soon. I think he's also playing him in the last week. Kyle has a big last week and can make a potential big push for a first round bye. Let's look at the schedule for next week to see how things are going to shake out. So we got Michael versus Kyle, very important game, obviously, since they're tied, and a loss could put you on the cusp of being out of playoffs. Kyle versus Dakota, again, 2 playoff-bound teams. Every win matters right now in the South. Papcoon versus Josh. Every win doesn't matter for Josh, but Papcoon needs this far more to stay in playoff contention. He's only a game behind, but he needs to, with only 2 weeks remaining, he really needs to make up ground there. Darren versus Zhang, another 4-2 team. We're going to see that 4-6 squad split. It's going to split in half, and next week we're going to have 3 5-2s, 3 4-3s, and Papcoon might end up being another 4-3 or a 3-4 potentially if he loses to Josh. Connor's got a bye week, not going to change his fate right now. This week is so important in the South. I'm so looking forward to it. And with this being such an important week and the trade deadline just passed, let's look at changes that happened. No trades happened in the South, but let's see. Yeah, we're framed up. Good enough. We'll slide this over. So Darren's the only team who really shuffled his team too much, but also there's another week for ad drops, so we'll see what happens. So he dropped Oricorio Electric, picked up Vulpix. Dropped Piloswine, picked up Sandy Shocks. Dropped Terrakion, picked up Slitherwing. Changed his Terra Captains around a little bit. This is a hard pivot to relying on Sun. Unfortunately, he's relying on Vulpix, so that could be a bit of a problem. But as we talked about in his matchup for next week, he is playing Zhang, and Zhang's got a Torkoal on his team. So Zhang could bring the Sun, and that would take a lot of pressure off Darren to have to bring a Vulpix. But he's got three past Paradox Pokemon. Cinderace that really likes the Sun. I would say Diplin. No, Diplin doesn't use Synthesis. Crest loves the Sun. Zoroark, he's just been using. This is a really solid team from him. I'm excited to see what he can do down the stretch here. Everyone's got a shot at making it to the North. It's really exciting to see. I just like the parity that we have going on right now in the South. LA also tweaked their Terra Captains a little bit, and then London tweaked their Terra Captains. But those, I think... Oh, Santa Fe also... Oh, yeah, I did put it. Santa Fe tweaked their Terra Captains. So, a lot of changes to Terras this week. Everyone's doing a really good job of tweaking those. Again, I've talked to some people. Maybe we don't want to allow so much tweaking. We'll definitely talk about it in the off season. Yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap it up for us here in the South. I don't know how we are on. I haven't been keeping track of what's going on with stats because there's just been a lot of. Oh, but fucking, I should be taking a look at stats more often. Let's just check in. Brett's mostly caught up with them, so let's just look at what's going on. 9 KOs for Gouging Fire, 8 for Archaludon. Great Tusk and Zoroark both at 8 as well. Grafai up at 7. Just Darren's really doing the work with these guys. Clodsire doing well. Mandibuzz got 6 KOs in that one game, so really bumps those numbers up. Just solid looking squad here. Only 2 Pokemon, Darkrai and Clodsire, have fainted 5 times. We haven't seen anybody come to... We're in week 7. Nobody's come to 7 matches, but I guess that also bye weeks factor into that a little bit. Clodsire's come the most and fainted the most. Darkrai's the only one who has come to 5 games and fainted 5 times. But even Darkrai didn't hit the field in one of the matches. I think Connor's played 6 matches and Darkrai didn't come to one of them. Attacks dealt, Gouging Fire and Great Tusk putting in a lot of work. Mandibuzz again being really carried by that one game. Clodsire soaking up so many hits. Despite all those feints, granted it has come twice as much as the next highest thing, but nearly twice as many hits taken. Here's the team stats. Go look at your team stats. Thank you, Brett, for putting all this together. I know a lot of it is stolen from other leagues, but it's collated in a very pleasing fashion. So I just want to thank you for doing that. And thank you all for participating in this league. Really appreciate it. Oh, geez, I didn't have anything framed up there for the last little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. Yeah, but I think that'll wrap it up. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.